from the stadium that hosted Super Bowl 51 back in 2017. We are inside NRG Stadium in Houston. Today it's an intra-division matchup in the AFC South, as it'll be the Indianapolis Colts taking on the Houston Texans. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis with you from our broadcast perch. And Charles, as we get this thing started, what are you going to be keeping your eye on?
Special teams. Field position is always a big determiner in a ball game. Who sets their offense up for success the best, that team will win the game.
And he won't quite make it to the 25. Colts ready to go to work here offensively, and it is Phillip Rivers, their veteran quarterback and longtime Charger, who will be under center.
And when you watch him play, everything just looks like it comes so naturally to him. When he's dialed in and finds that zone, passes are crisp, he sees the field really well, and he takes charge as the leader of this offense.
Here we go.
Now Rivers. The toss here completed to Pittman. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Second down and 3.
Second and 3 at the 31-yard line.
They'll run. This is Jonathan Taylor. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on third down.
It's third down.
From the shotgun, it's Rivers. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Texans scoop it. And they will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Texans touchdown. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
And the Texans take a 7-0 lead.
Makes the score Texans 7.
So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown.
Kaimi Fairbairn to kick off for Houston.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Second drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts. Off the play fake here, Rivers. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play. Well, certainly not an ideal first quarter for him. Remember, he lost the fumble earlier, and here he ends up on the ground with a sack.
And sometimes what happens when you make a mistake early, you get too cautious going forward. Just cover up the football and take care of it and be able to cut it loose. Otherwise, your offense is going to stall.
They'll give him 4 yards there. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. To throw is Rivers. And he's going to go down. The Texans come out and able to bring him to the ground. Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Out is Rigoberto Sanchez on 4th down to punt this thing. Jalen Knoll deep for Houston. It'll be a 40-yard punt on the return. And the Texans with great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. So now you've got their offense coming out for the first time with great initial field position. And they'll be led out by a guy who has a couple years under his belt in the NFL, their 3rd-year quarterback.
I tell you what, when he's on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
Play action. Stroud now. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
A couple of quick incompletions, and now they're just one more away from getting off the field. They've got options now. Could they dial up a blitz here or just drop everyone into coverage to crowd the throwing lanes?
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
All right.
Stroud looking to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Offensively lucky they were able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
Oh, a big decision here early. Look at this. They're going to go for it on their own side of the field. They're going for it. Here's Stroud. And that is incomplete. A surprising move to go for it. Predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And the Colts are going to get the football in outstanding field position. Indy set to go on offense once more. They've shown very little offensively to this point. Well, neither team has, really. And they come up here now 1st down. Rivers to throw it. Throw out right, pulled in by Downs. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4. At the Texans' 39.
From the 35, back to work on 2nd and 4. Rivers going to give this one to Taylor. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
And that will be incomplete. They weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
And this one is no good. He missed it. And this will stay at a 7-point game. Listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their backgrounds. They were all county, all state, and other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well.
Now a run. Here's the rookie from USC. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 10 yards on the play. And it'll be a 2nd and long.
The safety position continues to evolve into a bigger role in run defense than in the past. They certainly love to have him drop down and get aggressive in bringing ball carriers down behind the line of scrimmage. Not many bigger stops than that one right there.
Now he's going to step up and run. And he's going to lose a yard or two. Taken down behind the line. And the corner blitz gets him that time as he goes down for a short loss. Facing some long odds here if they hope to convert as they're well behind the original line of scrimmage.
Here we go. Let's go.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number 1. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter from Houston. It's the Texans in possession of the football, as they've got it with a 4th down coming up.
Here we go.
Stroud and company going for it. He'll let this go deep for Collins. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. What a real head-scratcher there. And it'll be a turnover on downs. So they take a big chance here in their own territory, and you think the coach may have some questions to answer?
Yeah, and, you know, normally we focus on the media, right? The social media barrage that he's going to get for this one. How about on his own sideline and in his locker room? Because I think the team's going to look at my coach. Why would we go for it there? I mean, no confidence in the defense. You don't like the punter. I mean, what's going on here? You owe us some explanations.
To throw, Rivers. That's to Warren, his tight end. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
That's good for the Colts. 1st down.
They'll run the toss here with Taylor. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17. So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. Rivers. Got his tight end. That's complete. It's Warren. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Tyler Warren, a 16-yard touchdown. And the Colts are within an extra point of tying up this ball game.
For good reason, quarterbacks want to get the ball to the perimeter to their wide receivers for big plays. But in this situation, it felt like, based on coverage, he knew that he wanted his tight end to have the football, and for good reason.
A point after, good by Groupie. And we are tied at 7. A drive there of just 4 plays. And the result for the Colts is a touchdown. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. Down the numbers. There he goes. And they are not going to catch him. He's in. Touchdown, Texans. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge him, kick it to him. The way he runs as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blur when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there. And the kick makes it through, but flags come flying in as well. It appears we're going to get a roughing call tacked on. So they'll go ahead and accept the penalty. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. And he'll wisely just take a knee here. And this ball will come out to the 35. And the Colts coming out now. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
And And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Working out of the gun, Rivers. A short one there, caught by Warren. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
Rivers now. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Henry to that is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's a game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
And he's loose again. Touchdown, Houston. 72 yards on the punt return. And the Texans are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Well, what a game for him. He hits for the return cycle, so to speak. He had the kick return. Now the harder part, just got the punt return for a touchdown.
And I would imagine that the special teams coach, as the ball left the punter's foot, he was thinking, should have kicked away from him. Should have kicked away from him. He's in a groove, and sometimes you hit those grooves through those zones in a game, and he's in one now. He's in perfect sync with his teammates blocking, and he knows how to find the end zone.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and it's now 21-7.
21, Colts 7. Fairbairn to kick off.
So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3 and out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
It's a gain of 8.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
This pass left side to Downs. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
It's a gain of 2. And the Colts first down.
From the gun, Rivers. A short one there, caught by Warren. Here now, 2nd and 4.
Number 84, Tyler Warren. A 6-yard
Throwing,
pickup.
Rivers. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this ball recovered by the offense. But remember, they cannot advance it here in the final 2 minutes of the half. So this will be blown dead, and it'll come back to the spot of the fumble.
19 Tiger.
Here's Rivers. Under pressure, and they get to him again. Daniil Hunter. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. To punt on 4th down, here's Rigoberto Sanchez. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And controlling the football, switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
Here we go.
And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
19 yards.
goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs.
First and 10 at the 30.
So halftime straight ahead. It is time to join our good friend Scott Hansen. He's got our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Welcome in, everyone, to the Orlando studios. Scott Hansen with you for a quick halftime report. We'll let both sides catch their breath and get their orange wedges as we're going to get ready for the third quarter action. So let's go back out to the stadium as we rejoin our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Scott, thank you very much. We are ready to get started here with the second half. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the third quarter. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So here's the Texans offense now. They get set to start this third quarter. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. And I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation and pick up those pass rushers because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
And he will finally be shoved out of bounds down at the 30-yard line. A big change in field position there. That's 40 yards on the catch and run. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. Back to throw. Here's Stroud. This one complete to Christian Kirk. And down inside the 15 he goes. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down.
1st and 10 at the 14-yard.
Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They're really locked in on offense.
And the Texans are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
So 3 plays already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time.
All right.
Marks. Oh, he's going absolutely nowhere as he is hit behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
And Stroud now to throw. And it is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Dalton Schultz from 6 yards away. And the Texans take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. But D'Amico Ryans, even with the defensive mindset, he'll elect to go for 2 here.
The Texans will line up.
Stroud's going to try to throw for the conversion. And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And that bumps their lead up even further.
Colts 7. Kaimi Fairbairn to kick off for Houston.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the second half. Rivers going to bring the Colts up 1st and 10 at their own 21. He'll start with a give to Taylor. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. That tackle behind the line made by Will Anderson. The first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. They go play action. Rivers. And this will be swung out wide for Taylor. So the completion good for 6 yards. And 3rd and 8 now. And in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. Throwing Rivers. Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted. And they will score. Pick 6 for the Texans team. Well, whatever adjustments they're trying to make over on that sideline, Charles, this defense, they just seem to be a step in front of them and not giving them a chance to implement any of those changes. And here, a pick 6, and they widen the lead.
At least a step ahead, maybe even 2 steps. And right now, they are thinking hard about putting this opponent away. That turnover, it grew their lead and just totally deflated that offense. Now these next couple of series, you can take them out of the game entirely if you continue on this pace.
So now the Texans offense back onto the field. They'll line up and go for 2 here.
The Texans will line up for the 2-point conversion.
They'll look to throw. And this is going to be caught. Not sure about the need to go for 2, but they get it and extend this lead out even further.
Kaimi Fairbairn to kick off for Houston.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that one not returnable, not by a long stretch, over the back line of the end zone, so that's going to be spotted up at the 35-yard line. Indianapolis offense ready to go again.
It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. The turnover on the last drive, they had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
1st and 10 at the 50-yard line.
1st and 10, Taylor now. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
2nd and 12 at the 47-yard line.
Rivers. A short one there, caught by Warren. Just a gain of a couple there. And that brings up 3rd and a full 10 yards.
And it's 3rd down.
19, Tiger, 19.
Now Rivers. And he's going to go down. The Texans come in and able to bring him to the ground. Multiple rushers break through to drop him for the 7th time this
tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Here's Noel. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Texans will take over. C.J. Stroud and the offense back out there. And he had the touchdown on the last drive, also 4 for 4. Very, very effective. What does he need to do to translate that forward into this drive?
Not think that what he saw in coverages last time is exactly what he's going to get again. He's got to play ahead and start thinking to himself, okay, we just did that. What are they going to take away now? What do we go to as a counter? And continue to encourage his offensive line to continue to give him time.
They were really good on the last drive.
Oh, ready.
Here's Stroud. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. And that one not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Texans in control of the football and leading this game as well as we start the 4th. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And they'll go play action here with Stroud. Now he lets it go deep for Kirk. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Partner, you and I have struggled with this for years. You've got the lead, just take care of the football and burn some of that clock. But there's something to be said for not taking your foot off the gas as well, because you can never have too big of a cushion. That one, though, falls incomplete.
He'll let this go deep for Collins. That's caught inside the 20. And he'll be taken down, but first he gets deep into Indianapolis territory. You take a look at his receiving numbers so far. He's been terrific. Up over 100 yards now for the game. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone. Now Stroud. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Well, they're up comfortably here, Charles, but that lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive to try to drive the ball downfield.
And that will certainly...
Touchdown, Texans! Nico Collins, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Texans continue to pour it on here in the 4th. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
The Texans will line up.
They'll try and throw for him. And he's going to go down. Can't get rid of it. So a sack on a 2-point drive.
I know we can sit up here and dance around it a little bit, but going for 2 in this situation, somebody don't like someone else. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, what they couldn't see is you lean back in your chair and you went, yeah, that's not a good decision. They didn't get it, though.
Yeah, I don't think you can just say, well, my kicker's hurt in this point.
Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because it's now a hit, and Rivers lost the football. And the Texans say they have it. They do. And I don't know that fumble's going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the fourth. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help him improve.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Neville Gallimore powering his way in and burying him.
I don't know about you, partner, but I'm awfully glad I'm not offensive guard. Could you imagine trying to stop the Canadian bulldozer Neville Gallimore? When he utilizes leverage in his hands and gets upfield like that, the quarterback's in a whole lot of trouble, as he was on that play.
To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Up big here in the fourth quarter, up really big. That passing incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points. But they're not going to turn them down. They're going to continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently.
And that's one of the dangers of the quick game. If you only have a 2- or 3-step drop, if you don't get the ball to someone open right away, those defenders are right near the line of scrimmage and they get on top of you in a heartbeat.
And they're going to go for this thing. They're not going to leave anything to chance. They're going to roll the dice on 4th and goal.
Hey, I got him, man. I got him.
Throwing now is Stroud.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had the play call on 4th and goal, but it's dropped in the end zone. And that will force a turnover on downs.
Rivers and the Colts going to come up 1st and 10
at their own 12-yard line.
A carry by Taylor to start the drive.
And he'll use his blockers to get this up over the 20 to the 21. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
2nd and 1.
How about this? They'll try the option, left side. And holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped to the backfield. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. Now Rivers. His hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez, standing right on his own 5-yard line. Fielded at the 43. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field.
All right. 118. That's it.
Stroud. Oh, he'll let one go deep for Higgins. That is incomplete.
Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
Stroud sets up the play action. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
They'll let this go deep for Collins. And he knocks
the ball away, and it falls incomplete. The Texans tried it, but they come up empty here on fourth. And it'll be a turnover on downs. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that, saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule. When someone does it to them, you don't hear people protest out of them. That's just who they are.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score.
Now we're at the 41, second and 9.
Rivers to throw it. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack.
More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack. Now that sack leaves Rivers and the Colts with a 3rd and long.
He'll look to throw.
This taken in by Downs.
And he can only get this to the 42-yard line, and that is not near enough. It'll go as a gain of 4, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Sanchez on to punt here as he sends this one away.
And they won't get a chance to bring this one back. It goes out of bounds, back near their own 20.
Houston's offense taking over again.
And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point.
On the quick, right?
That one looks like he'll throw here.
He's got his man, Schultz, coming across the formation.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Partner, I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff, and they haven't let up here even into the fourth quarter.
He'll let this go deep for Collins.
And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
CD to go into the books is just one win, but this is a really impressive win. They've done it on defense, and here they continue to do it on offense. Another score in the fourth quarter to widen that advantage.
I like where you were going with that one. Would you say, partner, there's really 3 victories today? Landslide on the scoreboard, emphatic victory on either side of the ball. They really got it done.
Now to add the extra point. Oh, and it's no good. He tugged it wide left, and that will keep our score right where it is. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off.
Yeah, it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. They can't do much at this point, partner. This one is going to go down in the loss column.
You don't make up for what has happened during the game in this sequence here. Maybe you hand it off and let someone run the ball if you so choose. But otherwise, just kneel down, call it a day, and try and prepare going forward.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
Second and 10.
Second and 10.
To throw is Rivers.
That is caught. Michael Pittman with it.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. A gain there of 21 yards.
First and 10.
Yeah, And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance. Well, by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go at each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Texans as we say so long from Houston.